Okay, so yeah, I'll record. Please, if you don't want your face to be seen, you can just remove your face. Okay. So we are
Your
recording.
video, please off your video so that we have a better network. And if you are not speaking, lock your mic, please. Mute.
So I also, when I was in the bank, I started exams to become a chartered accountant. I'm at the skills level. So, and I wrote a book to reflect on my experience in the bank. It was a kind of a model, and the model was employment life cycle fund. So my thinking was, if you are employed from day one, you are going to retire someday. So employment life cycle fund is all the money you'll be paid from that employment. What are you going to do with it to create wealth? So some people may retire and they will not be comfortable. Some people will retire and be comfortable. So how do you manage all the money you get from an employment to put you in a better position? Because anybody in a job must retire someday. So I added here that this is not a financial advice. Like I said, each of us not a different track of trade, but you still make income and convert that income to asset and other investment forms of investment. So this is not a kind of a financial advice. I'm not saying go and liquidate this and invest in fixed deposit or treasury. No. So if you want to invest, see a professional. Just a banker can advise you, a lawyer, an accountant, or other professional, stockbrokers. Okay, so that's a kind of a caveat there. So going forward, I wrote a book, and in the book I wrote 66 poems, and I have some poems that border on that touched on finance and wealth creation. And I extracted just 3 of them. So here, because of our time, I will not read all of them. But I will just pick some lines and reflect on it. So this one is money eludes the greedy. The fundamental thing that anybody who is very, very greedy will not get money. Because at times the person will just gather the money and just one thing will just come and sweep everything away. The person will start afresh. So that's what this poem is talking about. And I also emphasize that money is very important. It's good to get money. Money is not evil. Okay? So you need to have money. Money is defense. So legitimate money is very good because if you look at this one, let me read the second stanza. Money buys what money can afford to. Okay, the things we eat, wear, do, stay, and go. It offers security from embarrassment and pays off the army that comes for harassment. That's what money is used for, to do good. It's a tool, it's neutral. It can be used for good, it can be used for bad. But the fundamental thing is that it's good to get money legitimately and use it to defend yourself, and also stop situations from embarrassing you. So I have another one, debt. This one, the other poem is on debt. So quite interesting. But the important thing is that I reflected here, if you borrow money, you make sure you pay it. When you pay, people will give you more access to their resources. Okay. If the person borrow money and the person doesn't pay, the person blocks the opportunity of getting more from that person. And also the person may tell others that this person collected money from me and he has not paid me. So trust is capital. Once you can be trusted, people will give you access. And by that intangible asset of trust, you can make more money or create more wealth. So another one is interest. So what I want to draw from that poem, interest, is that wealth creation grows through compound interest, not just a single investment. So when you invest, you try to reinvest and also probably diversify and keep compounding the wealth. That's how the wealth will grow. I have something here, and I I don't think we have the luxury of time, but I would have asked us to do this. It's a pool, and people will vote, and we'll see the answer, okay? But I don't think we have the luxury of time. And again, our technology may not allow us to be moving around. So let me just leave that one. What I want to say is that wealth is just very, very simple equation. And at any point in time, we have what is called net worth. And our net worth is when you take all the value assets you have. Assets are the things that can bring revenue in the future, like landed properties, stocks, shares, fixed deposit, cash, stocks as business. Somebody doing business, your goods, okay? Even certificates, educational certificate is an asset because with it you can get access to employment. Now, liabilities are things that come to take away money from you, okay? Loans, guarantees for, so even your legitimate rent is also a liability. So when you take away what you have that bring in money and what takes away money from you, that will be your net worth. Okay, that's in a simple term. And what that pool would have helped us to do is to, get the psychology of people about the difference between being rich and being wealthy. So in this little talk, I'm focusing on being wealthy, not just being rich. Okay? And you notice at times wealthy people, they don't make noise, but they are so wealthy, as in they can afford to buy whatever they want to, they feel they want to buy. Okay, rich people are more likely to make noise, but we should be focusing on being wealthy, not just being rich. So the difference between being wealthy and being rich is that a rich person will have a significant income and accumulate assets, but those assets will be less sustainable when you look at it in a long term. Why a wealthy person will accumulate assets that will create.
Sorry, presenter. Please, if you are not speaking, mute your mic. Comrade Okereke Nana, mute your mic. Everyone that is not speaking, please, so that we'll be able to have a silent audience, please. Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
So being rich, if somebody wants to be rich, you see the mindset of the person may include sacrificing health. The person may not bother about health. Meanwhile, we say that health is wealth. Even friendship, the person can, like I said, they may borrow from friends and not repay it. They may even ignore family. They don't care about peace of mind. But that's not how a wealthy person behaves. A wealthy person is interested in peace of mind. The person values health, value relationships, and build networks of friends and associates that can help them to create wealth. Those are intangible assets, but they matter a lot in wealth creation. So rich people love money. Okay, they are interested in just money, but wealthy people create value. So the difference is that value creation is about having something that people will be willing to pay for or to be associated with. So when somebody creates value, the person will naturally become wealthy. And also, we need to understand that cash is part of being wealthy. Okay, so, but that's not the fundamental basis for being wealthy. Understanding individual difference, this is very, very important because some of us are employees, civil servants, public servants, private sectors, like, people that work in the bank, oil and gas, telecoms. We also have politicians, which is tenured. Why I put that is that politicians, they are tenured, but the civil servant, they work until they get retired. And we have self-employed, we have professionals like doctors, they have their own clinics, we have lawyers with chambers, we have accountants that are practicing, pharmacists, and engineers. We have also business people, they have their shops, big shops, where particularly our people, they are into trading. And it's a very good model, because you have a system that you can optimize. You just get input in form of goods and then sell to your customer and make money. So the difference can help you grow your income, and then over time start converting what you have into other forms of assets. So we have a farmer trader. So it doesn't really matter what you do, as long as money comes into your hand. What you do with that money that comes into your hand is what will determine how you end up, whether you create wealth or not. So it doesn't matter your source of business. So just have that in mind. I don't need to go and be trading, or I don't need to go and be a civil servant. No, no, no. Do what you think is your calling. If your calling is to trade, do it very well and keep expanding and making more impact. Now, let me differentiate between fixed deposit and treasury bills, which is what I'm focusing on, having laid that foundation. Fixed deposit, you just go to the bank. If you have cash that you are not using in your operations, and they will place it on a fixed deposit. So the bank will create a fixed deposit account for you. It may be for 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days, or 1 year. So they will pay you interest for that period. You will not collect it, but you can liquidate it if you need the money. So at the end of the tenure, they will now give you your interest, deduct withholding tax, and then give you your interest and your capital. So you can see that even if the interest is not much, at the end of the day, you have your capital. But you should also know that there is inflation. So 1 million naira you have today is not the same thing as 1 million naira you have 10 years ago. The 1 million naira you had 10 years ago is bigger than 1 million naira you have today. So that's the disadvantages, one of the disadvantages of a fixed deposit. For treasury bill, is discounted. What it means that if you invest 2 million, okay, they will discount your interest. So you receive your interest now. So if you want to reinvest it in something else, you can do that. So they will keep it. You cannot liquidate it until maturity. So that's the difference between a fixed deposit and a treasury bill. The same interest rate calculation, but different protocols for administration. So you can't liquidate that. You have to leave it till maturity. So if you have money that you may need, you may consider going for fixed deposit. At times the rates vary. Okay, treasury bill is from government. A bank can take a fixed deposit. However, two of them you can book them through any commercial bank. Okay, fixed deposit, treasury bill calculation. I have a calculator here, and I think that at least since I didn't do the other pool, let me do calculation just to show us demo of how the fixed deposit calculator. I don't know whether we can see this. Can we see this?
Yes.
Okay, so the interest might be small.
Yes.
The interest might be small, but remember what I said. Instead of leaving your money in current accounts that may not yield any interest, you can just move it to fixed deposit where you need it. Imagine you are saving money to acquire land or acquire another property. Instead of just leaving it in current account, you can just place it in fixed deposit while you accumulate it. So the little money you are going to be making, you can use it for other things. Say, for instance, you have 10 million. You have 10 million. I don't know how many zeros I've added. Yeah. Okay. So if the current rate now, you can take a 6%. It used to be 13, 10, and all of that. So it fluctuates depending on the interest rate fixed by the CBN. So if you do it for 180 days, you can see that you are going to have an interest of this when government deducts withholding tax. At least you get 266,000. So this for 180 days. How about if you do it for just 2 months, 60 days? At least you have 88,000. It may look small, but if you take 50,000 and give somebody in the Nigeria of today, the person will be grateful. So if you are accumulating money for somebody, or you sell an asset but you are not ready to use it, you can just put it in current fixed deposit, and it will accumulate little money. So fixed deposit is really good when you have a lump sum that you are not using immediately. So you can always I put it in fixed deposit. Permit me to go back because of our time. Like I said, you can have different rates and different. This is a calculator. If you, let's assume if things improve and they move it to a 10%, you can see you can get up to 140. It looks small, like I said, but imagine that you ask them, roll it over. I'm not ready to use it. Okay, you roll it over, the interest and the principal, they keep rolling it over. And when I was in the bank, there was this politician that gave us 75 million. So he gave us 75 million. And then we used to fix it for him at the rate of 13%. And we roll it over every 90 days. So every 90 days, the man will come and take 2 million. You see that? So the man, I think they paid him severance allowance after his political destiny, and he just put the money there. So you see, every 90 days, every 3 months, he gets 2 million, and he will still leave this money. At times, he will roll over this money with this. So some people may be playing Rudo with him. He will just say, hey, I beat you here, I beat you here. You don't know that his money. He has money, making money for him, you know. Some people may say, this man, he doesn't do anything. Okay, so fixed deposit can be a huge source of money, and it's low risk. At any point, you can always take your capital. Let me stop sharing this and go back to my presentation. So with this, we can see that the fundamental thing is knowing when to do fixed deposits, which is using cash that you don't need immediately. The next thing I want to discuss is what I call wealth creation strategy. Now, I mentioned something during my introduction. I said that wealth creation has a pattern, and this is a summary of the pattern to create wealth. You earn something, you get an income, you get money. And this earning may be from public service work, it may be from trading, it may be from any business at all, professional services. When you earn that money, you have to save a portion of it. I don't want to give you a formula, save 10% or save 50%. It depends on your circumstances, but save something. It is that money you save that you are going to invest. You may see that maybe somebody may say, oh, I want to sell my land and I need somebody, and you've saved, let's say, I want to sell my land 900,000, and you've saved 600,000. You can meet somebody and say, I want to buy a land, can you lend me 300? The person lends you 300 and you pay over time, the land becomes yours. Okay, maybe 5 years down the line, the land you bought 900,000 is now, let's say, 2.5 million. Okay, so without that savings, you may not have a basis to go and invest or buy assets. Okay, so when you invest, you can then reinvest the income. We talked about fixed deposit. When you get the fixed deposit, you can, use part of it to reinvest or buy another asset. So you keep doing that, just keep doing that. It may not be the same assets that you'll be acquiring. You may invest in stocks, you may invest in landed properties, you may build hostels, you may do anything at all. You can even buy shops and rent out, or whatever assets, anything that can bring in money, that's asset. Okay. Now, there's also strategy to be poor, or if you study poor people, this is what they do. They will earn money, spend it. It will not be enough for them. They will borrow more and spend it and keep repeating the same thing. Even if the person is in oil and gas, Shell or Ajib, the person will end up being poor. I'm telling you, this is just a cycle. So it doesn't matter. Even if the person is a politician. When I was in the bank, there are some politicians, we have about 10 minutes more. There are some politicians, they will, immediately they are out of office, they may, you'll be so shocked.
Our time is running out. We will soon be cut off.
Yeah, in 10 minutes time, I'm going to finish
again immediately.
I'm going to finish my session within that 10 minutes. So it is about conservation of your income. A portion of your income should be conserved if you are interested in wealth creation. No matter how painful it is, you need to apply that discipline to conserve. Now, wealth nugget number 1, you need to acquire intelligence. That was why I said something at the beginning of this. Like, if you look at most people in this forum, there are people that are interested in wealth creation, because those who know how to create wealth look for knowledge to create wealth, because it's a pattern and it's not by chance. You don't create wealth by chance. So you need to network with people that are interested in creating wealth, and you will create wealth. Another thing is invest in your children. Is very important. Investing in children is an asset. Yes, it is. Because particularly in our culture, the children can help to conserve your wealth as well, or to continue your legacies in terms of continuing your business, or even starting their own and contributing to building the family. Another one is trust is capital. I've said this before. When you borrow money or you enter into any agreement, you honor it. When you keep doing that, I can assure you that it will open ways. It will open ways. I know of a friend that bought a piece of land at Abakaliki. The person acquired the land with no money. His friends arranged for the money he used to acquire it, just because they trusted him. So trust is really capital. And some of you that are doing business, you know that because you are consistent, your people that supply to you say, no, carry, just pay me when you get the money. That's already value. That's already value. So trust is really very, very good. Now, the next one is that creating wealth is also difficult. So one has to be resilient. When you fail, you need to try again. You need to be courageous, disciplined to save and not and delay some gratification. And be patient. And be risk conscious. Because like I said, one can save up money and misuse it. So the next point I want to raise here is that we should avoid a Ponzi-like investment. If somebody tells you to bring 1 million and get 2 million, run away quickly, because it doesn't work that way.
Destiny, please unmute yourself and continue, please. Sorry about that. Dr.
I'm so sorry about that glitch. I'm so sorry. So sorry about the glitch. And can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Yes, we can hear you very well. Go ahead.
I am absolutely sorry about that glitch, please. So let me just and take it. So yeah, seek professional advice, join cooperatives. If you are a civil servant, please join cooperatives. At times they buy land at a reduced cost. During December, they buy things in bulk and share. A little savings here and there can put you in a better position. In summary, please aim for wealth and not just riches. Wealth makes you sustainable and you have something to pass to your generations yet to come. And savings and investment is the difference between poor people and wealthy people. So wealthy people, they focus on savings and investing it, reinvesting it, and earning and reinvesting and continuing that cycle until they create a reasonable amount of wealth. So cultivate intangible assets. I've talked about trust. I've talked about networks of friends.
Hello, Destiny. Sorry, please. Who is Ernest Okoro? Please release that host to Destiny. Release the host to Destiny, Dr. Destiny, please. Ernest Okoro, please. Thank you.
So wealth creation has a strategy. There's a pattern to it. And like I've emphasized several times, read books. I will recommend The Richest Man in Babylon, good books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and other books that you can get knowledge. I will share this slide to us in our group. Feel free to share with your friends and family. And I read some passages or 3 poems. If you send me an email, I can send you free version of that book. So with this, I want to say a very big thank you to Dan and everybody here. Thank you so much. I think, Dan, I don't know how you want to proceed, whether we'll ask questions at the end of the day, or you want to give a few minutes for questions.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Destiny. You've done justice to this. I think some hands are raised up. Unfortunately, somebody else is hosting it now. Ernest Okoro is now the host, and appealing to him to release the host to yourself or myself so that we'll be able to coordinate. I can see a hand, Brother Christian or Mr. Christian Joko. Your hand is raised up. Please unmute yourself and let's hear you. Before we go to the next topic, please. And if there's any other person that have question on this one, please, we have 5 minutes to this question and answer, and then we'll move to the next topic. Thank you very much.
Hello, Christian. Go ahead. You have a question? Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Dr. Okorafor, please go ahead. Dr. Okorafor, are you raising your hand?
Hello?
Go ahead, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening, especially.
Thank you so much.
For the very important topic this evening. I remember the first time I ever considered fixed deposit, and I wanted to do 91 days. So I was looking at the interest that was being quoted as what I would get. But when it was time for me to liquidate and get my capital, my principal and the interest, I realized that that interest that was being quoted is actually per annum. So not everyone here may understand that. So it's a form of contribution that I want to make. For everybody to know that if you are fixing money at 5% or 6%, as it were, over 90 days, the interest you're going to get is not the quoted entire 6% of your money. It's going to be 6% of your money divided by 12 and then multiplied by 3. So if anybody is considering it, they have to have an idea how much they are going to